it's actually going to... Oh, there we go. Hello, and welcome to Let's Drone Out. Tony, this is for you. I hope you get better. I don't really. I like the idea of you suffering. I might masturbate to that later. Yeah, probably will. Tonight we are joined by Digby Dan.
Yes, hi. How's it going?
Yeah. And Andy RC.
Bonjour. I thought I'd nick Tony's catchphrase with him not being here because I never have a decent way to introduce myself. So,
hello everyone. Loads of people said hello to me. Mikey, Davy, Zero. Anonymous says hello everyone. Lol, Jack, you're wrong. Yep.
Anonymous FPV.
What is your normal intro?
I just sort of say hello. I don't have any. We need to come up with one, something that I can say, because NJ's got his. I've studied this at great length. NJ's got his good evening. Tony's got his.
But what happened to this morning?
What happened to? Say what?
What happened to this morning?
This morning? What do you mean?
Yeah, like it's never evening all the time, NJ.
It's always evening when we're doing this, though. You're drawing yourself on a little moustache. What's going on here? The eyeliner.
Someone wanted me to have a moustache. I thought, why not? Anyway, we're also joined by Frank.
Hello.
There you go. Yeah, I've got a moustache again. I should really have a hand. I've always wanted a handlebar moustache, but this bit doesn't grow very well. Draw a handlebar moustache. This is the level of comedy tonight because Tony's not here.
I can see it's like a complete contrast to last week's.
Yeah, Jack's already missing Tony.
I think that's what it is. Oh, what's this? Is this alcohol as well?
No, it's not. Has it got alcohol in it? No. It's just a black cherry drink. Oh, stupid. Yankee.
Shall we talk about some drone things?
I don't think we should.
You don't think we should?
Last week.
Oh God, yeah. Didn't we have enough of that?
Well, it was great. Last week was like the best show that I've been on. It was. I loved last week.
Last week was really good. Thank you.
I'm slightly disappointed in myself.
Why?
Because I didn't ask.
You were nice.
Yeah, and I didn't ask the girls to rate us. I wanted to see. I wanted to straw poll
in the chat now. How about you get, because this could end up really depressing.
Yeah, hang on. We'll ask the guys. Yeah, like who's sexier?
Yeah,
spelt really wrong.
Yeah, this could have been a very quiet show because me and Jack were going to be at the commercial UAV show today as well.
It'd have just been me chatting on my own.
Yeah, it'd have just been the Andy RC show live.
NJ, Andy RC. By the way, Andy RC.
It's clearly going to be NJ, isn't it?
Yeah, I've forgotten your last name. So there you go. I bet you're well happy.
Put Andy RC. My surname.
No, I did. But Frank asked me, is blah blah Andy RC, and I went, do you know what? I never use his last name, so I've completely forgotten. So you are in my head, Andy RC.
My name is Andy RC, except it's spelled ARSE.
NJ, Tony, Jack. Who else is there? Is that it? Is that the usual lot?
There's Lexi and
no, Lexi will win.
Anyway, trying to start the show a bit. So yeah, we were yesterday. Me and Jack and Carlos came and saved the day as well at the commercial UAV show over at the XL in London.
What do you mean save the day? What happened?
So we'd been asked to come along and make use of the demo cage in the evening while everyone else was getting a bit tipsy.
All right.
So we went along. and we got given a little stand at the end as well. So we were there pretty much all day with a simulator running Velocidrone. We had just a pile of quads and wings and stuff, and just kind of confusing all these people that had turned up to talk about the latest in, aerial photography and surveying. And
is that what it was? So it was more sort of like
professional
aerial photography. Professional. We are professionals.
Well, us fucking dickheads.
Yeah.
It was the worst thing ever. They would ask us, like, so what do you guys do? What's Let's Drone Out? And we're just like, the likes of you who have got like a matching suit, your shoes are polished, you don't want to know what we are.
If someone says that to you and then you respond with, well, you know how some people aren't sure whether the world's round.
How do you have that conversation? You know what I mean? It's like, like, what do you do? Just hand them this fucking class. Take a swig of this and let Uncle Jack tell you a story. So yeah, oh man,
So is that why you decided not to go today then? Because it was sort of more. You guys don't do aerial photography at all, then you're not into it at all.
I mean, yeah, we knew what we were getting ourselves in for. I don't think we were expecting there to be huge crowds of FPVers there, but it was just kind of, we got round it all in like about an hour.
So did you get to fly in the cage? Did you take?
Yeah, so we were flying tiny whoops in the cage. So and Carlos and Matt kept on, because Matt had been asked to come along with Alliance and Flock and fly the DRL Racer 3 in the cage, and he kind of took one look at the cage and went,
That was a bit small, was it?
It was a bit small, and they had netting, but the netting there was no separation between the crowds and the netting. So if it had spun off somewhere and gone into the netting, it would have just like smashed into someone's face with net between the drone and the face without holding the drone back. So
the net was weighted, but not enough for a 6-inch DRL. Those DRL things, I don't know if you've noticed, they are like bricks.
They're like, aren't they like 800 grams or something?
Yeah, and they're the same colour as
LEDs on it.
Yeah, fucking, you're telling me, like, honest to God, man, it looks like a Corsa, a Vauxhall Corsa. It really does. Like probably even, right, if they had grey versions of the Vauxhall Nova, I'd say that, because it's just so boxy. It just looks like a brick. Very angry lit up brick. Just get a concrete block, put a load of LEDs on it, and strap 4 blenders to it. There you go, fucking DRL.
Is that so the cameras can pick up line of sight?
Yeah, exactly.
Shit like that.
That's why Zoe was saying they need to go bigger, really, because I guess even all those LEDs, it's just sort of like a big shiny UFO.
A bit bigger. It wasn't like a 250, was it? But I think that's because it's got because it's got all the LEDs on it, and because it's got the HD cameras on it, and everything.
Weren't they just GoPros? Come off it. They were GoPro sessions.
It was, I don't know.
They were definitely GoPro sessions.
Anyway, he hovered it for a little bit, and then that was enough. And we flew the tiny whoops around us, and then as the evening wore on, a few of us may have flown outside the cage, sort of.
That's okay with a tiny whoop. I mean, come on.
We got told off, but
apparently not. Yeah, we had this bird who thought she was like the like
drone traffic warden.
Yeah, and would get on her tippy toes, put her hand out, and like bat us out the air. And I'm just
seriously, no,
that's not safe. Do you know what I mean? They run on batteries for like 2 minutes. Like if you bat it away and we lose control, and then we hit someone in the face, then it's your fault. Your fault.
That's crazy. I can't believe that.
I know, like, just complete. This is what happens when you have Like they just see us as petulant children, you know. Like heaven forbid we have fun.
You were there, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had good fun weaving in and out of the ropes, didn't you?
No page can stop me.
The spacing of the netting was big enough that you could fly the tiny whoop through it, so that was quite fun. And then I was wandering around, giving my box goggles to a load of people, give people a kind of ride along, as is the way with these things. Yeah, it went down pretty well.
Dale Kennedy said, "Did you guys notice that the free simulator from DRL is no longer free?"
Yeah, you have to. It's on Steam now, and I think is it like 15 quid or something like that? Because I put, when I reviewed the DRL simulator, I put like, I can't remember the title, something like best or DRL simulator that's free, and now every other comment I get is it's not free, and I'm like, yeah, check the date of the video. But yeah, it's a shame that is, and I need to check that out. Recently I tried Liftoff, and that's changed so much. That's got so much better. I don't know if you guys have got that, but yeah, I was really impressed that they've give it a 3D option, so you can fly 3D, you know, like Zoe does. I've been trying that out, and they've added like loads. Oh, I tell you what, they've added the Dubai racetrack. You know, the where Luke, he won. They've added that, and that's pretty cool. That is pretty realistic.
Oh man, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's worth checking out. And speaking of tiny whoops, I've had something turn up today, and I think it's like I think I'm the first to receive it. It's a brushless tiny whoop, and it's from a company called Full Speed, and it weighs nothing. I mean, you know, it's a 66 millimeter. I mean, this is a 3-inch quad against it, so it's tiny, you know. And it's a 1S, runs off a 1S, and we've got little tiny brushless motors. It came today, so I don't know much about it, but that should be cool because this company, Full Speed, they do a really good job. It's got an on-screen display built into it and everything. Full beta flight.
What the hell?
I know. On-screen display.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, it should be good for that. So,
are you willing to take it apart and scan the carbon fiber bits so that Andrew can use it as a layout for his?
I'm all right for that at the moment. What I really need is motor leads for motors that don't just fracture from the flight controller. Yeah. So with my brushless at the moment, I just have the leads just snap away from everything.
What are you doing to it, Andy? You're smashing it into stuff.
Well, you know,
a little bit.
But not that badly.
That's a lot of stuff you've got back there.
It was really nice, Andy. Yeah, Thrust, I love it. Mr. Thrud, did you get the GTA mod done? I've tried 3D and failed miserably, says Davey Boy. Damon Barn said, yeah, Liftoff's gotten really good.
It is really good.
The new freestyle mode. Oh my god, there's a freestyle mode.
There's a freestyle mode, but I kind of didn't like that. What it does is it like you get given a minute to do a load of freestyle moves, and it recognizes things like I don't know, inverted jaw spins, and it gives you points for every trick that you do, and you have to get so many points within a minute. And I don't know, I wasn't too keen on that, but I was more impressed with like just the updates in general, and it flies a lot better as well. I think it's a lot easier to get through gates and stuff, and it flies more like the flight controllers that we've got. This is the problem when you have a simulator. Like when Liftoff first came out, it was realistic, but as flight controllers update and get more snappier and better tunes, then they have to do the same with the simulators, otherwise it becomes unrealistic. But they've done that with Liftoff. Yeah, so I need to do an update video on that, because there's like loads of different quads as well. Loads of different quads you can choose from. There was just like 2 when it first came out.
Which one has the best physics, Velocidrone or Liftoff?
Well, it's tricky, because I would have said Velocidrone, but Liftoff's really improved. The one thing I find Velocidrone great for freestyle stuff, but I tend to find the racing stuff, like trying to go through gates. I find that on Velocidrome there's like so much drift. Like, I know quads do drift when you go through a race course and that, but I find it really tricky to get through the gates with Velocidrome, whereas liftoff seems get similar to actual real gates. So that's my. But what I like about what I do like about Velocidrome is if you're into line of sight, then Velocidrome's got a really good line of sight setting. So it's, I would say, a bit of both, to be honest. It's good to have both, and then I think they're both quite cheap anyways, you know. So get both.
Okay, Andy RC's recommendation.
Buy everything. Fantastic. And if you're on a budget, Andy RC, buy everything. Yeah, cool.
Well, if you're on a budget, I mean, come on, they're both, what, 15 quid? So you got two of the best FPV simulators for like 30 quid or something. I don't think that's fair. Of course, then you don't need a transmitter, but then you can get like a cheap Fly Sky i6, and those will both work with that.
That is a good point.
I hate the autocorrect on here, man. It's so weird. It's like mixed in. Sorry.
Anyway, so as we were wandering around yesterday, so during the day, we bumped into Inga FPV and Aris from Drone Boat, which is a Latvian FPV kind of equivalent of, I guess, Drone Bit or something like that. You know, sort of stores, you know, spare parts stockists. So
was
yeah,
DJI there, Andy?
I don't actually remember seeing DJI specifically.
That's
there was
surprising.
Unique there.
They released a new version of the Mavic yesterday, an Apple only Mavic.
It's the white one.
All in white. Yeah, did you see that?
Did you also see they've got this new box of toys that takes over drones?
Oh yeah. I can't remember what it's called, but it's it's a little box that kind of does it take over drones, or doesn't it just...
Yeah, so it's it records everything, doesn't it? So you're right, it doesn't take over, but essentially if it's a DJI drone and it's flying, then it can be monitored by this device that will record everything it's seeing and record where it lands, essentially. So
is that for authorities?
Get you.
Yeah, so they're going to be selling it to like the police or particularly airports is what they're going to be aiming for.
I love selling it. We'll sell it to them. Yeah, they'll probably be asking for it for free, won't they, with the amount of money DJI make off these things?
It does look like something out of James Bond's Box of Tricks. It's a big suit briefcase, kind of open up, and there's a screen and aerials and.
Oh God!
It looks the part, that's for sure.
So it listens to all the listens to all the telemetry that the DJIs are putting out. So it knows.
That's kind of funny. If you think about it, they're like the cause of the problem and selling the solution.
Yeah.
It's like they came up with a disease and you have to pay for the antidote or something.
Well, it's got your email address locked into your drone, which was interesting for them to admit. So your email address is locked into its preferences, so they can immediately get your email address.
I thought they were saying on there that they wouldn't have access to that directly. They would only have your serial number from the device, and then they would have to match that up to your email address somewhere else. So I thought that was something they were very clear about, or trying to make very clear, is that no one through having this device would have access to your personal details directly. So is
email address really that personal?
No, not in this day and age.
No, but it's not here. But if you're in other states where the internet is maybe a bit more closely surveilled, then it could be an issue, I imagine.
The thing is, if you're not doing anything dodgy anyways, then there's no need to be fearful of that kind of thing. Really, I guess.
It'd be interesting to see if it affects those jailbroken ones as well.
Yeah,
there's a lot of those floating around.
Yeah, because they're the ones that are flying into prisons and dropping drugs anyway. So
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully, it still includes them.
Well, whether
The
this
telemetry will probably just be "fuck you" written on over and over and over again. But apparently, HBI guy goes, "My email address is andy@andyrc.com." Sorry, carry on, Frank.
I can't remember where I was now.
The thing is, these days, if you crash a drone, you get Tony on the radio, you know, on your case.
Oh yeah, I was loving to take the piss out of him. Oh, let's ring him again.
So for anyone that doesn't know, there was a copter that crashed. Was it close to the motorway in Brighton or something? Was it? But in a tree?
It was next to the railway. So
next to the railway, that was it.
It crashed into a tree next to the railway, and the pilot decided that the way to solve this problem was to climb up into the tree and then, like, as far as I can tell, both knock the drone onto the tracks and like fall onto the other side of the fence or something. It just sounded like it was
It's
just
not
like
funny. Not funny.
it just sounded like absolute.
How did Tony end up on the radio talking about his pole?
So yeah, this then led to BBC Sussex to get hold of Dom, because Dom's the go-to guy whenever the BBC needs someone for
Really?
a comment in the southeast, and Dom passed that on to Tony. So they got Tony on as expert quad retriever. And
oh my god,
there were so many innuendos. Even the radio guy was in on that. Like, he was like,
the radio guy was absolutely taking the piss.
He was. He was like, that's a huge pole you've got there, Tony.
Do you know? Like, we're so lucky that he didn't like let us know beforehand, because we would have just been messaging the radio DJ being like, ask him about flat like, just, and then just got, you know, like literally waving the bait. Do you know what I mean?
It'd been like Radio Sussex's Carl Pilkington interview.
Yeah, like you do. Oh man, can you imagine me like Dom? I have to have a word with Dom and be like, you have to let them know that I'm Tony's manager. And I've got to, do you know what I mean? I could like line stuff up.
The lizard people, flat earth.
Yeah, I know, the Illuminati. Oh,
yeah. So I don't know. Has Tony posted the link on the Let's Drone Out page or not? If he hasn't, then we'll have to put it up.
We'll have to put it up because
it is there, I think.
Yeah.
But basically, Tony took, because he is what did he say? A glass hygienist. I like what he called
glazing hygienist. Yes.
A glazing hygienist. Tony had an 80-foot pole and turned up and knocked it out of the tree. Was that what happened?
Pretty much.
Did like, I love your little ukulele comment that I woke up to, Frank.
I can't remember what I said now.
When I'm a glazing hygienist or something, you wrote. It was just so funny.
You're a bit out of frame, Jack.
Am I? Oh, fucking! I hurt. Is that better?
That's better.
Ow! Can't see the chat as well now, but fuck it.
So Tony revealed to BBC that he was quite surprised when Tony said, "Oh, I've got about 15 drones."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then he was like, "Yeah, see you, Tony. Bye."
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I'd listened to it, but I couldn't.
You've not heard it?
Well, we'll put the link up to the audio, because Tony's grabbed the audio off somewhere. We'll put that up on the Facebook page when I can dig it out, and I'll also put up the photos from yesterday of I've got a photo of Jack flying around the cage and Jack nicking a drone and all sorts.
It was really surprising what you can get away with at expos, because you can like you can just like, can I pick this up? And they're like, yeah, as long as you're careful. And I'm like, fuck yeah. It's big, massive. Like, I could have strapped Tony to that quad.
What was the biggest quad, Jack?
It's bigger than Tony. if that's anything to go by. Bigger than Tony.
Sort of 12
Tony
plots.
out. It was massive. I couldn't, like, it's so big.
Did they have the one with the robot hands that can pick stuff up? Was that
No, because if they did, I would have asked, can it give me a hand job?
Did they have the one? Did they have the one that fires, that blows fire to get rid of debris on electricity pylons?
No.
No,
That's the one you want. That's the one that you want. You know what? Yes, the fire-breathing drone. That's what everyone.
They had a fire extinguishing grenade.
Oh,
yeah,
that's really good. I've seen that on YouTube.
Yeah, so they had that strapped to the bottom.
Looks like a kind of a big coconut.
Yeah. So there was a drone with that underneath it, and they were like, "Yeah, this is going to save lives." It's like no.
Yeah. Lipo catches fire, causes another
We've
building.
seen drones flying over fire. I mean, that's how we get our barbecues going in the summer. It's like
I'll always remember Hidden Valley, like when they're trying to start the fire, and bloody someone's like, yo, grab a drone, and then they're using that to fan the flames, and the inside is just like glowing white hot as like this quad's going full throttle, and it's just like, oh god, we are like the worst people ever.
Have you seen the Grand Tour video? It was DRL and Grand Tour put out a video.
Really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, well, to get the link for that one. Yeah, so they stole our name. I mean, we did drone games first, but
is that what it was? They were doing like Top Gear and DRL do Top Gear sort of thing.
Yeah,
wow.
Exactly.
I would have loved to have done that knife thing, the knife dive.
Yeah,
that looked
So
amazing.
they're doing like darts, so they're sticking like pointy things in front of their quads, and then doing like dives onto a dartboard.
I tell you what, though, speaking of Top Gear, did any of you guys see the last Rotor Riot episode? I thought it was great.
Which one?
They did.
No, there's a new one out. I haven't watched it yet.
No, it was last week's one, and it was very sort of Top Gear-esque. Basically, they took all of the Rotor Riot guys, like put them in a house, and then they got like some of the budget like quadcopters, like the really cheap ones. And you had Schizo and Stinger Swarm, basically everyone, and they were just like each given a quad.
Willy.
Yeah, they were each given a quad, like a really cheap one, and they had to fly them like out of the box, and then they were allowed to tune them. Really entertaining, and I'm gonna take full credit for that episode because when Chad was on this show, I said Rotor Riot, like it's really got the potential to be the Top Gear of quadcopters, and it sort of strayed away from that, and I saw that episode come up, and then if you look at the comments, everyone was like, this is what Rotor Riot should be, and I agree, like not controversial stuff, just entertaining stuff. Take the quadcopters that you can buy out of the box, or even the frames and the parts, and like race each other with them, and it was so entertaining. I would say, like, if you've sort of not watched Rotor Riot for a bit, then go check that out, because it's well worth a watch. It's like 20 minutes long as well. It's almost like an episode or something.
Who retracted Richard's message? What the hell did he write to get?
I haven't touched it, so I think that was himself.
What the hell did he have to write? You have to write something pretty obscene in Let's Drone Out chat to get.
He was talking about girls' night and just said that he thinks we should do another one, and I don't know. I would retract your own? That.
No, I don't know. Like, Richard, are you all right? Are they silencing you? Are the mods? Do we need to mod you so that you can fight back?
Well, hi there, Ash. How are you doing?
Hi guys. Bloody hell, I look homeless today.
What's the last thing you ate?
The biggest sausage roll you've ever seen. It was literally like an entire pig.
Well, you get in trouble like with all the Christians and stuff. Be careful.
Isn't it Jewish?
I was about to say it's the Jews you got to get in trouble with.
I was going to say I didn't understand any of that.
The Greg's
or the vegans
sausage roll into
oh
the
yeah,
manger.
yeah. I fully embrace our new overlord sausage roll, Lord sausage roll. especially because Tony won't like him. Any religion that Tony won't like, I'm all for.
Look at this.
We're going to end up
Everyone,
going on to flat Earth again, aren't we?
No, he's not here.
Yeah, Jack's just pining for him. That's
good,
all.
okay.
Yeah, I know. I was looking forward to.
So my audio was really bad. Can you hear me this week? My audio was really bad last time.
Can hear you
What?
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, the quality of your webcam is awful.
I think that's probably just connection, isn't it?
yeah,
Rather than
probably
actual
connection.
webcam.
Yeah, I'm uploading a 12 gig video at the moment. That probably doesn't help actually.
Oh, yeah, that should do it.
Good
What
old
vi-
English
what video
broadband
is it?
connections, eh?
What video is it, Ash? What you been up to?
Coverage from the CAA event.
Oh,
Oh,
It's pretty
yeah.
good actually. Although
Excellent.
I think I was probably the youngest person in the room, besides I think about an 8-year-old. Yeah, real surprise was the average age was 50, easily 50 plus, which is good. You know, it's a broad spectrum of interesting drones and quadcopters, and but yeah, it was good. The only manufacturer that turned up were Unique, which was interesting, and they demonstrated their H520, which is really, really impressive actually, but very expensive.
Is that a new one? Is it?
But yeah, no other manufacturers. It is, yeah. It's like their commercial model, but it starts at 2,300. It's kind of their Inspire competitor. It's going to have a top speed of 60 miles per hour when they unlock a sports mode soon. But yeah, almost 2.5 camera. And the really impressive thing though for a Hex, it was half the volume of a Mavic in terms of the sound from those rotors. So really, really quiet. But yeah, it's a good show. So the footage is going up soon. It's the longest edit I've ever done, and it's not very good. But
I look forward to that. I've never tried a Unique product. Have you yourself, Ash?
I haven't. No, they're not. They don't seem to be as generous with reviewers. I know they send a lot to FPV Guy over in America, but I don't think the English division are too keen on sending stuff out. But I'd love to try I've always wanted to try the Typhoon H, but just never had the opportunity really. But
They
the 520 looked good in the air.
They sent their Typhoon H to someone I subscribe to called I think her name is YouTube name Drone Girl, based in Ireland, and they sent one to her for review for like 6 months, and then she had to send it back.
Oh man, that drone bird.
I'd be fine with that, Unique, if you want to, if you're watching.
Oh mate,
Yeah, me too.
She spins round. She is so annoying.
What? Why is she?
She looks like the type of bird who believes fairies are real.
Jack, we're trying to get more female girls' nights, and
I'm allowed to hate people.
You're ridiculing them. She's got loads of subscribers.
I tell you what, taking
thumbnail,
Jack
she always
around the
makes-
show yesterday. Oh dear,
I was high on drugs.
that doesn't make it right.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
It was the Dublin guys, like being all
yeah.
like.
Anyway, Ash, what was the kind of conclusion from the?
Andy's cutting Jack off there.
What was the conclusion from the
That's live
event?
censorship,
Was it like
isn't it?
a good balance between
yeah,
like
I mean,
the...
it was good to. Yeah, it was good to hear a voice from the CAA. Like, there's a face now for the CAA from a communications perspective, and he was really good. A guy called Jonathan Nicholson, and he was very honest. You know, he was like, most people think that the CAA are against drone users, and you know that used to be the case, but we're trying to change that. And I really believed him. He was very sincere.
Yeah.
I've kind of put as much of the dialogue in the coverage as I can, but it's tricky when people are talking for an hour or so. But I've put the key elements in. One of the big take-homes from it, I guess, is that they did state that registration will be compulsory in a couple of years. And also they mentioned, I might have misheard, but mandatory education. But they might have been talking about the PIFCO, the professional commercial use. But yeah, besides that, it was really interesting. Also, NATS were there, the air traffic control guys, talking about Drone Assist, their app, to help you understand if you're going to be flying in dodgy airspace. That was really interesting as well.
Was it mostly like DJI crowd, or was there was it a mix of like race drones and stuff, or what type of people were there?
I think most of the guys there had never seen a racing drone before, and there was actually a Rotor Rush. Do you know Rotor Rush?
Yep. Yeah, that's Richard Rowland.
They were there.
That crew, yeah.
That's right, quite a couple of characters, nice chaps. I interviewed them when I was there. They were there with their simulators, and they had 3 set up in a row. And they had some guys sat down who'd only ever flown Phantoms and autonomous drones. And it was just really interesting to watch people who were just used to a throttle that's spring loaded to the middle. They weren't used to the concept of a non-sprung loaded throttle. So really interesting, and for them it was a real good insight. And also it showed them what the other side of drones is about. It's not just about Phantoms and aerial photography. I think it opened some of their eyes to, this could be a new interest for us as well. So that's in the video as well. I think it's a shame there weren't other manufacturers there. They didn't charge Unique to be there. In fact, I don't think anybody was charged to be there. So in theory, anybody from a manufacturer or retailer perspective could have gone and had a small stand.
But aren't they doing a few of them though, Ash? Isn't this just like one of many that they're doing?
Yeah, apparently they're going to make this a regular thing around the UK now, so they might eventually, Andy, get as north as you.
I'm not sure about that. It's unfortunate to hear about the registration thing, though. I mean, especially as sort of like, it's not. We've been sort of like lumped in with the aerial photography guys, and we're not. We very rarely fly higher than a tree.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
And I'd be interested to hear more on that about this. I mean, I've no issue with registering. It's just like, it's not worked elsewhere. And did anyone sort of ask any questions around like, well, if it's compulsory in a couple of years, why we're doing it when it didn't work in America and stuff like that?
Sorry. They did, yeah, although interestingly, the FAA have just brought back registration. So it's on its way back, having them retracted it.
Right.
But I think the biggest issue is it's a little bit like, they catch some little chav who's stolen a car and he hasn't got a driving license and they give him 6 points. Well, he's not got a driving license anyway. He doesn't care. So registration is a little bit like that.
Yeah.
It's only going to impact us who care about regulation. The people who don't care about regulation are going to ignore anything that they bring in anyway. So it's counterproductive, but I think it's just to make people think harder. I must say, if it's affected me, like I was talking about that waterproof drone, I drove around for hours trying to find somewhere that I could morally accept test flying it.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have done that a few years ago. I would have just flown it in the middle of the city in the canal waters.
I mean, is it going to be the case as well, like if once this sort of thing comes in, if the police are driving around and see you flying, are they going to just stop everyone who's flying? Because if you're in a car, the police don't stop everyone in a car. So, but I kind of feel like because people flying drones is going to be much more rare than driving it. Are we just likely to just get pestered every time we fly? Where's your license?
Really big number plate on the back of your drone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't they just start making us call out our fucking Google searches and, stuff like that and read everything else out aloud, just...
Well, when I've been standing on a stand for the BFPVRA next to the CAA, was it last year, year before that at Farnborough, and then they were just saying like they didn't want to have anything to do with registration because it was just going to be a load of work. And then like Andy said, they know that we fly below tree level most of the time anyway, so what do they want to do with us?
Funding for that? I mean, you're talking about setting up an entire government agency who have got to take registrations, make sure that everyone, so what, they're going to have to charge a fortune because you've got to pay for wages for these people. It's never going to work.
They're actually increasing the registration fee for the PFCO next year, aren't they? It's going up from like 140 to 250 pounds, I believe. So anyone who does want to do commercial work with drones, they're going to be hit a bit harder next year than they have been.
Oh my god! Has anyone MF Boom, who hates my guts? Are you guys still there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Did you guys watch the Drone U podcast with the FAA official on? I can't believe I'm reading out his fucking message. The guy who tells me I'm a dick every single day. How does the Part 107 affect FPV racers? There you go.
FAA, we don't care.
To me, being a cop,
We're not affected by that here, are we?
only because authorities are going to be copying what they're doing in a year or so anyway.
Ash, can I ask, did they mention the 250 gram limit that we hear all the time? Was that ever brought up?
Asked a question about the 400 foot versus 1,000 foot. This weird document that was brought out talking about FPV with an observer. And there was an interesting answer to that as well, which was ambiguous. He kind of said, yeah, we recommend 4 foot. It's not a legal requirement, we recommend it. But we also aren't worried about it for the next few watching it. But you try seeing a tiny little FPV quad at 1,000. It's a bit ambiguous, but he did make clear that the reason that,
for me at least, is it breaking up for everyone else?
Yeah, breaking up for me. It says 12 gigabyte upload.
Oh my god, why are you doing that?
Can I just say on an unrelated note to any of this, maybe today or tomorrow I've got a under 250 gram build coming up on my channel that I'm going to be doing.
Carlos was saying yesterday that his 3-inch that he's just built for freestyle is he's really happy with it. And
oh yeah, they're doing 100 mile an hour now, you know,
yeah,
3-inch. And there's more prop options now for 3-inch. There's loads. So yeah, I'm fine with it. Bring in that regulation. I mean, the thing is though, when you see but my worry is that they'll start bringing that weight down even more, because when you see this flying at 100 mile an hour, you wouldn't want it hitting you. I tell you that, you know.
Oh, fantastic. Guess who's got an update on fucking... What do you want me to do, Windows 10? I might be out of it, boys.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Can you hear me right now?
It's as bad as Tony.
Yes. Great, I can't read the fucking chat. What a cunt. Oh, God, I said the C word.
Where's that censorship button gone?
I know.
Digby, I don't have it.
What censorship button? There's a censorship.
I must admit, I went to... Where did I go? The first drone show at Christmas, and the CAA girl, like called Laura or something like that, she was absolutely lovely. It was hard to concentrate. She was so beautiful.
Get her on the show.
Yeah, I know.
Have you just lost track of what you were talking about, Jack?
Yeah, Tony's texting me. Stop swearing.
Tony, stop distracting Jack.
She was beautiful, and then I couldn't remember
Die! Why are you policing me? Just fuck off and die.
Oh dear.
I did meet the editor of Drone Magazine as well, and I was quite curious actually. How many of you guys, as drone fanatics, buy magazines? He was really nice, and the Drone Magazine itself looks pretty good as well. I've never
Drone
seen
Magazine is the one that Lee from Painless contributes, isn't it? I think.
And Adam Juniper, who used to be on this podcast, but decided to have a child.
Yeah.
I get Drone Zone. Yeah, I'm subscribed to Drone Zone. Do you know that one?
Okay.
Actually, Curry Kitten, I saw a post. He writes articles for Drone Zone. He's got one coming up, I think.
I just wonder
and plus, Gemma Cox writes for them as well, which she's lovely.
I just wonder how many magazines they sell these days, because it must be hard enough selling magazines for gaming and consoles and PCs, but drones are quite a bit more niche at the moment. I can't imagine circulation's big, but they're online as well. But
what I find interesting is as a YouTuber, I always think, oh, I'm getting these products before everyone else, and then I'll get this magazine sent through, and they've got stuff way before I've got them. So
really,
Why don't you release an Andy RC magazine?
Because I'm because I'm dyslexic. I can't type. That's why I do the videos.
I'll write it for you. You got to send me the quads first, though.
That's it.
You'll regret that. There's far too many. It's too much work.
I'll tell you what, I could see if he'll come on the podcast next time, though, the editor of Drone Magazine. That could be really interesting. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll drop him a message.
And then some of the CAA guys, and we can tell them what's for.
I could actually see if he will. Communications director.
Oh, can you imagine the CAA and Jack on the same call?
Good point. Yeah, fair enough. Forget that idea. I don't want to break relations.
Jack's not allowed within 400 foot of that girl that you met from the CAA.
Oh my God, she was lovely. I was nice to her. She spoke to me. I didn't once try to stroke her or anything.
But a few people came up to me and said, "Are you that around the kitchen table guy?" I was like,
someone thought you were Simon Newton.
Oh
my
God! Do you want to see my
God.
hands or something? But I didn't know who they meant at first. But then the YouTube channel. But I think the guys, both of them were there, and I think I spotted them, but nobody knows what they look like.
Oh yeah, they would actually. That's why I saw about the CAA stuff. It was from Simon Newton's channel.
Same here, yeah.
Yeah, I wish he'd post more. He used to have a really good channel, and then I think he started doing a lot of like events and stuff, and he hardly posts anymore. It's a shame. But that's why I saw about the CAA thing. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't have said you sounded like Simon Newton. He doesn't show his face, does he?
Nah, I'll tell you what I could do with doing his editing, just pointing a camera at a table and just narrating over it.
Yeah,
that'd be much easier.
That's what I do. You've got it all wrong. Actually, your videos are awesome. So yeah, I'll keep doing that, and I'll keep.
Oh, the 12 gig one that's going up now is not one of my best, so please excuse that. But
yeah, I've been like crazy editing because I've done this build. And those are the worst ones to edit because every single solder join has to get filmed. But and I edited it. Probably took me about 6 hours to edit, 4 hours to film. So
you need to rope in the rest of the family. Get yourself a cameraman woman or cameraman.
Yeah, I can't afford.
Hope you don't mind, guys. Just a quick free plug. I'm giving away a Fury B Dart Max on Saturday, so there's one more day to enter it. Instructions are in a video on my channel, but it's pretty good quality apparently. I've got one. I haven't flight tested it yet, but everyone's. I think, have you tested it, Andy? 220?
Yeah, I did a giveaway on it last week as well. It was like one of the best. Yeah, I flew it on my channel. I did it with 4S, with a 5S, and with a 6S. It's just it's a really good piece of kit. So
brilliant.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to win it, unlike Andy RC, I haven't got thousands of people entering, so there's only hundreds. So you stand a pretty good chance of winning. I might win it myself actually at this rate. But
I absolutely hate competitions because like.
Put the link in the chat, man.
All
right.
right.
Like, that's what that Diggy Dan stuff. Like, yeah.
All right, deal.
Yeah, like
it's horrible having to pick a winner because look, I just want everyone to win.
It's also hard. So an interesting thing, right, for you guys? Question: Facebook or YouTube for videos? Because I ran a poll, and I would have thought everybody would say YouTube, but the poll at the moment is 40-60. It's got about 50 votes in favor of YouTube, but I'm amazed that Facebook is a preference for watching videos. So I'm going to start uploading my reviews to Facebook now, but I'm actually using Facebook as the competition decider. I'm going to use, I think it's called Facebook Angel or something, that chooses a random comment where they've liked it and they've done the other things that you've asked of them. But I'm going to run them on YouTube, I think, in future. It's just easier. But I was surprised at that video split. What are your guys' take on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a official Facebook, so I've never tried it, but it doesn't surprise me because Facebook these days, it really is a bit, well, it's become a sharing place for memes and things, hasn't it? But like all you really see on Facebook now is videos, isn't it? Really, so
true.
I guess it's probably I mean, my gut feeling would be that it'd probably be a more successful place for shorter videos.
Yes.
That's not so like audio, you know, if it's just purely visual, I imagine it does quite well on Facebook. Whereas if you're actually talking about stuff and explaining details, it probably would need to be on YouTube to be more successful. I imagine. I would guess.
Yeah.
But
the shock horror statistic from Facebook recently was that the biggest change to Facebook is that people have stopped talking about themselves. It has totally defeated the object of Facebook, because now everyone puts links up and videos up that have nothing to do with them.
it's become almost Reddit in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Any of you guys on Reddit?
I hate Facebook. I'd rather be on anything else. But those little fuckers have bought Instagram and everything.
Yeah.
Sorry, is it because I swore?
Yes.
There you go. There you go.
You
There's
and your-
Tony being like, "Oh my god." he
You and your
swore."
potty mouth this evening.
I think a problem with Facebook as well is I don't think there's as much control with things like copyright when it comes to music. So a lot of FTV videos got music over the top of them. I tried to upload a video with music over the top to Instagram, and it deleted it straight away for copyright violation, whereas it let me upload it to YouTube. So
What was the one you sent?
There's also no monetization, of course.
I think you can monetize Facebook, can't you? I think. I mean, I
don't think so.
You can't. Oh, okay.
I haven't seen any monetization controls, but there is a copyright. It embeds a special tag into the video, but someone can still use a screen grabber or something like that to grab it if they really want to. But also, there's the things like, not the annotations, but cards and end screen and all of that. You don't have any of that in Facebook. But for something like a giveaway, 2-minute video, it could be quite handy.
Yeah, I mean, it depends if you've got the capacity to run both. Because, like, I find with YouTube, it takes up all my time. So, you know, trying to manage two things. A lot of people do that. I mean, the Rotor Rush guy, but they got more guys on it, haven't they? And I think Stu from UAV Futures, he runs a Reddit. So, you know, that might be another avenue.
Never appealed to me, Reddit. It feels like
it's huge,
going back to a
huge.
fax machine or something.
Yeah. Well, people are into it, though.
Yeah.
Do you reckon there's a naked/R and the RCR/R?
Oh, what?
Sounds like you've already been there, Jack.
Reddit. I should make it.
I'm not understanding the reference here.
Andy, was it you who sent us the video in the group chat the other day of the singing ESCs?
It wasn't me.
Amazing.
It wasn't me, but I saw it. Yeah.
Was it Kiss ESCs that can talk?
They talk, yeah.
The one singing Still Alive from the end of Portal.
Steele shared it on Facebook recently as well.
Post the link.
You see, I think my problem with that is I think it's great, right? But I think it's not really very useful compared to an on-screen display that Kiss currently doesn't have. So, I love Kiss. I've got a couple of Kiss setups, but for me, I would want an on-screen display before talking ESCs. That's just my opinion.
No, they could. No, think about it. It would be great, you know, because the ESCs can go, I am broken. You have put too much current through me.
I'm not like
you have hit me with a prop.
I'm not like a big technical person, but isn't it like not great for the motors doing that?
Yeah, like the new mode that you've got in the latest beta flight where you can make your ESCs beep louder. Apparently it's not healthy to do it for any more than a couple of seconds.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of, I guess because no one's sort of done it before, that's why they've put it, but is it useful? I don't know.
Yep. You have installed the wrong firmware. You're an idiot.
Well, it might be useful if you've got one of the arming mode, you know, one of the ones, one of the triggers for it not to arm. So if it's like the wrong angle or one of the, like, there's a whole list of them. If it told you which reason it wasn't arming, that could be potentially useful.
Yeah.
I am not level, you silly twat.
Yeah.
You keep crashing me.
Yeah.
Above more
You are the bad pilot.
I am on fire.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have it say nice things to you, like compliments. You know, that's what I'd like.
No, I set my Tyrannus to do that. I'm so sick of the sound of it now, and I can't remember how to get rid of that sound file.
It's a bit weird, is it?
Oh, so annoying.
A little bit intimate when you arm your quads, is it?
Just, hi Ash, I'm ready to go. Yeah, okay. Took a bit of explaining that one to the other half.
One of the many reasons why I generally dislike technology talking back at me. Like, I hate my GPS talking to me. I just get in arguments with it. But,
oh my god, that is amazing. Just like the little...
What are you looking at?
The talking ESCs, that's mental.
I'd have it doing a Star Wars thing. I'm amazed they haven't done a Star Wars.
Oh, they did.
Vortex,
They
wasn't
did.
it? Vortex
Yeah,
250.
Yeah.
They did do that.
Yeah.
Not that one.
No, that's a death.
Posted that yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah, they did it. But for me, it would have been more. I think, because did you see? Chad's been doing a couple of live streams. Have you seen them? Noak. He wore a Let's Drone Out t-shirt.
He did wear a Let's Drone Out t-shirt.
Good work.
And somebody named Andy in the chat asked if he would go on Let's Drone Out, and he said yes. So I don't know who that guy was, but he sounds pretty awesome.
He'd be a really good character to get on. He seems pretty down to earth compared to some of the other guys.
He's been on before.
A few times, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
We worried about having him on too much. Like, you know, if everyone was like, oh god, not him again.
Wait, why am I on every week?
No, we like torturing you.
I wanted to come on to the girls' night, but it looked like you had a pretty full house.
We did have a pretty full house.
You could have had my space.
I needed to get a bigger monitor to fit all the little faces along the bottom.
I know.
We'll have to get them back
Pretty
on
impressive.
with a bit more time for each of them, I think. I'm sure all of them have more.
It would have been nice to hear from more of them. Yeah.
We need to feed Lexi.
I think it was more sort of safety in numbers. If we go on as a group kind of thing, I'd have been the same.
Overroll them. I know we are like the worst podcast to come on.
Well, it's we have a tiny platform, but it's still a thing, and we could do something. So
it's growing though. Loads of subscribers this week.
Yeah,
after girls' night,
we were there to we wanted them on to support them, and then they've really supported us because we've had like our most popular video ever. So there you go. There's a hint for DRL. That's what I say.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see what happens.
Sorry.
Perfect reason to get the girls.
I think we just lost all of those subscribers.
Yeah.
Hey girls.
Hey ladies.
Oh man.
Come on our show.
Yeah.
Listen to Jack's noises.
Ablutions. Is that the right word?
No.
You hate me, don't you, Frank? You are like
I want
ablutions.
I want to get one of these t-shirts. We've got Ash, he's got a droning on shirt. We've got Frank, he's got his why haven't I
Did you paint the corner off?
What?
Frank, did you fix the shirt?
You
did, didn't you?
This is look at the size of this. This isn't the bootleg shirt.
God, it's better than the actual Let's Drone Out shirt.
Yeah, this is a actual knockoff instead of the genuine bootleg.
Oh,
who's knocking off Let's Drone Out t-shirt?
Jack, using the wrong bloody logo.
Probably JJ. It's got to be Easheen, hasn't it, or JJRC?
What I liked about the one that Chad wore is it said Let's Drone Out on it. So
that's good.
You guys need to get one my way. I'll wear it every video.
It says Let's Drone Out on the back.
I want an Andy RC one.
That's
oh, awesome. Oh, yeah.
Frank.
Yeah.
I'd love to have my own merch, but no, I can't.
You've gone up though. You've been promoted to manager.
It's too much hassle. Too much hassle getting your own merchandise. It gets really expensive, and no one wants to pay 25 quid for a hoodie.
Yeah. I would if it said Let's Drone Out on it. Just saying.
And then you get people like Jack that just give everything away. It's like it's a very strange way of doing things.
Can I have one, please?
No, I bought a shirt myself, and I fucking it didn't fit me, so I just didn't wear it.
Send me a shirt and I'll wear it in my next review. But I want it to be washed.
It means getting more shirts made.
I don't want a smelly, sweaty one that smells of whiskey.
Making us do stuff. Oh, what do you mean people want to buy stuff? And like,
we had someone try and buy the T-shirt like months ago, and you just
there's loads of people that want to buy shirts. Go away.
The more you say go away, the more they'll want one, Jack.
Don't wear our
hate
shirt.
thing.
As seen on Final Glide, yeah.
Oh, God. Stupid. Don't wear our shirt. We say fuck a lot when we're not supposed to.
You say fuck a lot.
Yeah.
When you guys went to that show was it today?
Yesterday.
Did you see the drone ball there?
Yes.
Was that a drone in a ball?
Yes.
Funnily enough, yeah. What did you think of it?
Yeah. Just drone in a ball. Make a lot of noise.
It was flying around and crashing into netting and bits of acrylic and things, and it seemed fine. Jack saw more of it than I did. So he's probably better to comment on it, but I don't know.
That's all right. Just kind of flew and rolled around a bit. You know,
on the BBC, that drone.
Yeah, I don't think it'll get you laid. That's my criteria.
Are you talking about the T-shirt or the drone?
No, a T-shirt. You might as well wear a T-shirt that says "I am a sex offender" on it, and then register to the CIA. Might as well. What it is? It's like joining the register. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we've got. I think 2 days. Like, it's too much in a week. Yeah.
Of Jack.
2 days generally, or 2 days of Jack.
Do you mean the show, or do you mean the...
I think if there'd have been more drone racing stuff there, you could have justified a second day. But it sounds like it was more like the professional aerial photography
there was
side.
Like the British Antarctic Survey had their big like Hertie type fixed wing, like a giant. It looks like a giant Bixler 3, I guess, and it has a fuel tank on it. That means it flies around for 12 hours with 9 kilos of payload on it. And
why is it called Hertie though? Is that if it drops out of the air and lands on someone's head, it's going to be really Hertie?
It's after some Greek demigod, I think. But yeah,
I'm just waiting for some manufacturer to call a drone Droney McDroney Face or something like that.
Has that not been done?
I don't think there's been a Droney McDroney.
Andy RC. Andy RC's middle name. Droney McDrone Face.
Oh, they come up with some terrible names though in China, don't they? I reviewed one the other week called the Toad. Who looks at that and thinks?
Saw that.
Who looks at that and thinks it was a great model, but no one wants anything called a toad, do they?
Well, if there was a frog, then why not a toad?
I'm waiting for one to come out called like the Turd or something like that. It would not surprise me.
Andy, why have you not reviewed that Christmas drone yet? I know it's at the top of your list of priorities now.
I'm not going to. I mentioned it in a news video, but like, I mean, what can you do? How can you? It's a tiny whoop that sings Christmas carols. It doesn't stop. That's review over. That was it.
A flying Christmas tree, though, that would be a big seller. Flying Christmas tree would be awesome.
That was it. Link in the below.
Please, Andy, just do a 5-second video. It's a drone that sings Christmas carols.
I
Thanks.
did.
Cheers for watching.
I did. I put it in a news video, and I think that's as much as I wanted. Do you know what's funny about it is it actually flies really nice, but it sings 2 Christmas carols and it just repeats and it drives you mad. you imagine 3 of those going, like, if you've got kids or something?
Oh man, can you imagine sticking 3 of them through Tony's letterbox and flying them around his house?
No,
And like,
that would be
you
a
just
good
fly, get on top of the kitchen counter, sit there. He's got to fly to different high up bits and like avoid his pole and that, and he's going nuts. And the dogs are trying to bite him. I think that'd be a really good, fun Christmas game. Like New Year's Eve, we all show up at Tony's house.
So Jack, when are you doing your review on your sample that you've been sent?
I think Tony sent me this.
Have you got a Christmas drone as well?
No, Tony sent me the ball.
The flying ball.
Someone did, yeah, flying ball.
I think it was
and
Tony.
I think it was to do with the Quidditch comment I made about because basically it's one of those things that fly. It flies itself. So like I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking deadly.
Oh, we need a live demonstration right now.
It's free flight,
Yeah,
is it?
right, ready? Like prepare. If I die in like a house fire, like no one bring.
You need to hold it higher because I've got all the names in front of the.
There you go.
Oh, it's got lights as well. Oh.
So it's got like a sensor.
No way.
And it will go up.
That's pretty cool. Look at it.
And that's it. It will just do that. So now, like, if I turn the light off,
you don't need.
Like everyone thinks I'm having a rave.
It doesn't have a controller or anything. It just does that.
No, it just does whatever.
It looks like the police are on the way, Jack.
And it's like freaks the fuck
the
out.
police are outside.
I'll tell you what, that's pretty cool. That is. I'd review that. That's better than
now it's gonna.
Imagine if you had 10 of them going at the same time.
Eventually, it's gonna. Oh, and then it hits stuff.
You want to make sure that you register that, Jack, next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks a bit dangerous.
Jack, what's it called? I want one.
The ball or something.
The ball. That's
Flying
getting me
ball.
some funny. That's getting me some dodgy results in Google.
Flying ball.
Else.
It's the TT/308 version.
Oh god.
That's a really catchy name.
£3.47 on eBay.
Banging.
That's definitely
It's so
£2.47.
If I had a cat, it would be having the biggest shit.
While we're talking
Kids would
about
like it.
While we're talking about awesome products, have you guys seen that Fat Shark are releasing a box goggle, a budget one?
Oh yeah.
What besides the Transformer?
Besides the Transformer, yeah.
Okay.
Like,
I struggle to get excited about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're trying to sort of join in with the fun kind of thing. I don't know if I get to try one, I'll take a look.
They're like, holy shit! No one's buying our goggles because they're too expensive, and everyone's buying cheap stuff. We're losing so much money.
I just don't get how hard it can be for a manufacturer to just produce goggles that suit what everybody wants. I don't get it.
Yeah, I suppose it's just such a niche market, you know. When I was looking, because Fat Shark actually posts quite a lot on RC groups, and they were sort of saying it's really difficult to produce goggles because there needs to be like a mass market for them. And Fat Shark, their goggles, I mean, all these goggles are just hacked cinema goggles, which aren't popular anyways. Yeah. And they were saying that basically it's really hard to manufacture these these screens, and they're getting smaller and smaller, and yeah, they're struggling to justify doing an update because basically their HD3 is as good as it can get without sticking like a phone processor on it, which would send the price even higher. So
and a delay because it would be digital, wouldn't it?
I think they've released a base HD, haven't they?
A while ago, yeah.
And those
just a HDMI input, no receiver or anything like that. It's just really for plugging straight into an external RX or plugging into your PlayStation.
More for sort of like the Phantom kind of thing.
Any of you heard about the Clearview module for your goggles?
Yeah.
That's gonna be
awesome.
Oh man, that is gonna make you hard.
I wanted to buy one, but they sold out instantly.
Yeah.
So
apparently, no, I don't care.
Clearview, if you're watching.
What's this other blue? FPV blue? You guys heard of that?
That's a HD system, a HD FPV system, a bit like the Connects, but I think it's 720p only. It's mainly useful for wings, I think.
Okay.
Because of latency and stuff, but it runs on 1.3 gigahertz, I think, as well. So it's a long range FPV.
Yeah.
Check out Bonafide Pirates channel. He like flew it up to, is it like 13 kilometers or something ridiculous like that?
Bonafide Pirates. That sounds well dodgy.
And he's one of the reasons I got into FPV. That guy, yeah, he's an awesome guy.
If you misspell that when you type it into Google, you're going to get some very dodgy results.
Has anyone seen also the long range FR Sky stuff? The new ones that they've been releasing, new receivers that are on 900 megahertz, I think.
No, I've not seen them.
Yeah, didn't Aussie Model Reviews like review them or something?
Something like that. But there seems like FR Sky have got a lot of stuff coming out over the next little while, so might be worth trying to get in contact with them.
Probably trying to compete with TBS, maybe.
Yeah, I think they've seen probably a drop off in sales.
Yeah, and there's kind of like a gap there as well, if you think about it, because the TBS system's very good, but wow, have you seen the price of the thing? You know, it's expensive. I want one, but I reckon, you know, FR Sky gonna dip in there and try and take some of that, you know, some of that goodness.
Is this going to be like proprietary to a certain model, this new long range FR Sky, or is it going to work with any other FR Sky kit?
It looks just like any other FR Sky receiver. Well, probably the older ones like the X8R, that sort of size. And then it's just for 900 megahertz by the look of it.
Right.
Yeah. And it's got in it's sort of S-bus in and S-bus out for doing not diversity, what do I mean? Redundancy, having redundancy on the receivers. So you could have two receivers mounted different places, daisy chain them up and then plug them into a flight controller or just use it straight away.
This is how badly I'm lacking sleep. As soon as you said S-bus in, S-bus out, the first thing I thought of was hokey cokey. That's what it's all about.
I've picked, you know, the speaking Kiss ESC. If you listen to the 102 minute mark, I'll place a link in the thing. You can hear the motors completely freak out at the song. Like that. That's my impression.
Good impression. Well done.
Like that. Like very funny. Sorry, I was like listening to it for a bit more, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's horrendous."
As Zero has just said in the chat, the RC Model Reviews did the review on the FR Sky long range stuff. Apparently, at least on his set, the antennas were the wrong length.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Which does seem to be a bit of a problem with FR Sky.
Yeah, and he gave them a 2.4 antenna for their 900 megahertz system.
Not very good going, but maybe with the latest stuff, maybe they'll have sorted that out.
Oh my god. Yeah, when they go with the beat of the music, the motors spaz out.
Yeah, and who was it who said? Richard Harwood said in the chat, if you run 900 in the UK, it will fry half the country. So yeah, might be better to save that until you're somewhere where the radio frequencies are spread out for that.
That is hilarious. I can't think of what else has been going on.
Crap weather.
Still more terrible weather, yeah. So yeah, still plenty more tiny whooping to be had. If this is a good point. Okay, so on Monday, Jack was ill, but I went out and did a site survey for a
No, I
potential...
wasn't ill. I was
busy.
Someone called me.
You were busy.
To,
You were otherwise
to go
engaged.
fix something. Yeah.
I went out and did a site survey for a potential new site for the MiniAirshow for next year. If it goes ahead here, it will be really nice because this one, not only does it have like actual hard standing area for your cars and actual roads to these hard standing areas, so you don't have to go off-roading to get there. It would also potentially have showers, and there's a bar on site and 2 pubs next door. So this would
That sounds like a bad combination.
Have you been to the MiniAirshow?
Is it illegal? Is it illegal to drink an FPV? Oh, it's illegal to FPV full stop anyway, isn't it? So
don't drink and drone.
You might as well do it.
Drunk and drone.
What have you got a link for this MiniAirshow? This sounds good.
So it should just be miniairshow.co.uk. I think should still be the site. But yeah, so if anyone is up for helping out with that again next year,
Where is it?
So this is the website at the moment is still set up for this year's one. So next year's one, I'm going to be organising a tiny work meetup over the winter at this potential new site. If anyone who wants to can spend the time to get involved volunteering with the MiniAirshow for next year, drop me a line. I will let you know when it is. We'll go tiny whoop this the indoor space on this site, and then wander around and try and plan out something for the MiniAirshow.
Indoor space. That sounds amazing.
Yeah,
I will volunteer only if Andy RC goes.
But it's like I have to fly for like 3 hours to get to you guys. Where is it going to be?
3 hours is nothing.
We've had people flying down from
Scotland. 3 hours. You can be in Spain in 3 hours.
Yeah, we've had people from Scotland. We've had people from Portugal.
I'm up north. That's
Spain, all coming to the MiniAirshow.
Where is it?
It's not a Lord of the Rings quest. You effing hobbit, for crying out loud. You know there's a whole world outside. Just because it hasn't got a red little bin in the middle of it doesn't mean that you're gonna die.
And if you attach enough of your quads together, you could probably get some lift, actually. Just fly down using them.
Where's it going to be, guys? Is it London? Andy's in London.
No, not London. It's got a place called Worthing.
A place called Worthing.
No more details.
No more details.
Count me in there. I'm up for helping. I'm up for filming it.
I need to know where it is, at least. Where's Worthing? Is that
my house? Come to my house.
Is that in the UK? Is it?
Do you need a passport? You definitely need a passport to go.
Yeah, I know. Like,
it's
had all your injections, Andy.
According to most people on YouTube, I'm situated in Italy, anyways. I had a scammer, and that's where they were from, Italy. There's someone pretending to be me. I got attacked by a dog this week because of flying. Should we talk about that?
Go for it.
Have you got rabies?
Babies?
Well, before the attack or after?
Did you say babies, Digby Dan?
I thought you said he had babies, but that's
yeah. Andy RC, have you had any babies?
No.
Okay. Have you got rabies from the dog bite?
Potentially. No, I'll tell you.
Really?
I'll tell you what happened, right? And you let me know if I was in the wrong, because I don't really know. But basically, right, I've been.
Did the police get involved?
No.
Oh, you're right then.
So I was out flying. And we get like a lot of dog walkers and stuff. And actually, I was testing out. I'm working on a speed trap system to measure the speed of quadcopters, like. And I was flying FPV. I got my goggles on. And this guy had I'm pretty sure it was a Dalmatian, and like the dog intentionally knocked me over. Like the dog had sort of like figured out that whatever I like, obviously seen the quad flying around and sort of figured this is the source of that thing that's flying around. Clever dog. But of course, all of a sudden, I like the dog intentionally knocks my feet out. Like didn't jump up me. Like sort of realized this is the thing that's buzzing around. It's this guy that's causing it. Knocked me over while I was flying FPV. Well, the first thing I did, I mean, I know I'm not got a problem because I never fly over anyone, or people say, oh, my flying's boring or whatever, but it's in case a dog comes along and knocks you over while you're flying FPV. Anyways, I disarmed, the quad broke. I got knocked over into the mud, and 2 switches on my Tyrannus got snapped off.
Wow.
And it was this Dalmatian dog that just decided, I'm going to knock this guy out. Not like, you know how dogs like jump up you? It was nothing like that. This dog clearly barged into me. I wish I was filming it because it would have been hilarious. But I got a massive bruise on my back where I fell over. My first FPV injury was from a dog knocking me over. But my question is, should a great big dog like that be on a lead, or was it my fault because I was doing FPV and it upset the dog? What do you think?
Well, I think your spotter should have told you about the dog. So
no, well, the dog just came out of nowhere, just like ran up and knocked me over and stuff.
I don't think the dog. I mean, unless he's like a really
Ninja
clever
dog.
I don't think the dog would have worked out that you were flying the drone. Diggs is like the ultimate drone chaser. He can't work out that I'm doing.
That dog is like on you.
He's
Like
very, very good at chasing drones.
I don't know, that's the kind of because I don't know. And then the other thing I was thinking about, well, what if it was just a kid standing there, and then it knocked the child over, could have really injured the kid. I don't know. I think my initial thoughts were it should have been on a lead, maybe.
Yeah, the dog running into people is definitely not normal.
It proper, like I've got a bruise on my leg where it barged me with its head. Like its intent was to knock me down.
You sure it was a dog and not like a bull?
No, because I could see it. Actually, no, I could see it.
You sure it wasn't just a
do have like
Frisian,
wild animals wandering
Frisian
around
bull
up north,
instead of a
don't you?
Dalmatian dog?
Maybe the dog was like really offended, being like, look how beautiful and noble I am. How dare this man not pay attention to me?
Take those goggles off, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Well, that's the sort of Digby dog kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, Daddy's ignoring me.
I just wanted your autograph, wanted you to sign on the dotted line.
He was hoping to be on your video.
Yeah.
I wasn't filming. I wish I would. Cause it was kind of
that would earn you £250.
What did the dog owner say? Were they like apologetic or just rude?
He said sorry, mate, and just walked off, and that was it. Yeah.
That's pretty polite for northern people.
That's true.
Did he piss on you first? Whilst you were
Did he
down?
what?
The dog or the owner?
Did he piss? Both.
I'm really regretting mentioning this story. Can I just say I immediately regret telling you anything.
Was he annoyed because he didn't manage to get your wallet?
Again, the dog or the owner?
He was annoyed because he got my wallet and found nothing in it.
Yeah. Did he was probably beat the dog because he's really upset. You're supposed to knock them out unconscious so that I can rape them.
God, Jesus.
Is there any news on Bradder's stuff? Got nicked out the van?
Not that I know of. No. You got poor Andy. Davy boy said poor Andy. There you go.
Thanks very much. The only person that had any sympathy I was expecting, the reason that I was coming out with the story was I was expecting sympathy, and I grossly misread the situation.
You do know you're on Let's Train.
Now I've got a big bruise on my back and just feel, well, rather silly.
Yeah. Like I was having food with Frank, and I was like, we were comparing who got business cards, and he goes, He goes, "Oh yeah, we've got this insurer that wants to come on the podcast."
It was an intellectual property rights lawyer wanted to come on the podcast because we had a stand at the show yesterday, and so he wanted to come on because he's like got a long background in intellectual property and he wants to get into the drone side of things. So he wants to come on the podcast and talk about drones with us. And I asked him if he'd seen the podcast. And do we get him on? Just
yeah, definitely.
Like, how is that? Insurance for like if you crash your drone into someone's house?
He's like intellectual property, so he's doing like copyright law and stuff like that.
Well, how would that relate to what we do?
Filming.
No idea.
People nicking your aerial photography.
International intellectual property.
Okay.
It's an entertainment's lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Because of your little sing songs.
We can ask him about flat Earth. I'm sure he'll agree. I'm sure that'll help him with his business. Ask him if he's got any humiliating stories that he wants to be ridiculed about.
Bradder's motors were on Tony's quad the day after. Lol.
Oh dear.
Mikey Dread.
The chat's been really supportive of your music, Andy. People want more music videos.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Thanks. Yeah, it's just like another hobby to keep me sane. Really, that's all. I've been getting back into it. And actually, speaking to MJ, he's had a lot to do with that because it is. I don't know. He's just such a huge rock star, and you know, it's awesome chat. He's in the Netherlands tonight. If he's watching, hey MJ.
He'll still be on stage rocking out with
with Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi. No, it's Kim Wilde, I think.
Is it tonight? Oh, sorry. How could I have got that wrong?
But like the music stuff, it takes ages to record, and people keep like, because some people really like the thing is with like music, it's so like it depends on your taste. Like if you don't like rock music or anything like that, then you're gonna hate it and press the dislike button. You know, you can't cater for everyone, and I do wonder whether I should post it on there. But I never sort of intentionally started YouTube to, you know, be a review channel. It was just put stuff on there that I want, kind of thing. So people
keep doing that. It's your entertainment as well as everyone else's.
Yeah,
so
exactly. It's a place to put stuff like that. So I'll keep doing it. But that whole thing, it probably was 2 months work. The last one.
2 months.
Well, I play every instrument, so you've got to learn every part of the song. So
that's really cool.
Every drum beat, you know. So and also I say 2 months, but it's like 10 minutes every day because I'm doing lots of other stuff. You know, it's not like 2 months solid of practicing and stuff. But it's a lot of work. So I have to be really choosy on what sort of song I pick and that. There are some requests. Put any requests in the chat. Not from Jack, because he'll just say something. he'll say like do tattoo or something stupid like that.
Here's one: Foo Fighters, The Pretender.
Oh yeah, Foo Fighters. Yeah,
that would be a really good track to do, I think.
Yeah.
Look, this is gonna be your logo, Andy.
That is brilliant.
How long have you been thinking that one up, Jack?
All week,
mate. 20 quid if this gets tattooed on Tony.
The other issue is maybe, you know, it would be good to have that lawyer guy on, because you have to be really choosy on what you can do without getting what they call a strike.
Copyright strike. Yeah.
So there are certain So I think Joshua Bardwell did a video on this, but basically in YouTube, if you're a creator, you've got a music section, and if you type in the name of the song, it will tell you whether you can use it or not.
That's right.
And the thing is, if it's not there, sometimes like, I know, the record label can put a claim against you, and you can end up with something called a strike. And if you get 3 strikes, your channel will be shut down. So you have to be really careful with what music that you put on there, and that's another thing that what to choose to put on as well. Same with FPV videos as well. You have to be so careful.
I've just checked, Andy. Gangnam Style. Apparently, they won't give you a copyright strike for that. So that could be a next cover. I think that could work really well.
I could do the dance moves and everything. But I tell you, Taylor Swift. If you ever have first-hand experience, if you ever do a Taylor Swift song, you're an instant ban on YouTube almost.
Hang on. Did you just say you've got first-hand experience with Taylor Swift?
No, with
there we go. There we go.
Second and third.
Loads of stuff for NJ to riff on now.
I wish NJ was here. I seem to be getting all the abuse today.
Andy do November Rain. Drown, Bring Me to the Horizon. MF Boone says, how do you feel about Ghosts B.C, Andy?
About what?
About ghosts.
Ghosts? What do you mean?
Ghost BC.
Ghost BC, Andy. I don't know what that
Ghost
is.
BC.
Ghost BC, is it? I don't know.
Oh, wow. They look pretty heavy.
Oh, is it a band, is it?
Yeah. They're Swedish.
I should say I'm really out of touch with music in general. That's why I'm just sort of getting back into it, playing songs that I sort of know. But I'd love to get into some new bands, but I don't listen to the radio or anything like that. It all sounds awful to me.
Linköping. Yeah, they look crazy, Ghost BC.
I kind of have to do stuff that, like, because I really like the heavy style music, but I don't think my subscribers would appreciate me coming on doing like Slipknot or Lamb of God or anything like that. But
mate, that'd be so sick. Fucking Andy RC's just like waiting for the heat. Like,
I've done a few Slipknot covers. They're out there somewhere.
Way.
Oh yeah, I love that.
You little bitch. Yeah. That's amazing. Do it, man.
I don't think that would go down very well with my subscriber base if I came on doing a Slipknot song.
Do you remember Korn, Freak on a Leash?
I was going
to that.
I've covered Korn, Freak on a Leash. It's out there.
It's the weird noises he makes.
It's called scat.
Is it?
Scat.
Not the type that Jack likes.
That's not something I want to type into Google.
Not want to type in that. Yeah.
Oh dear.
But I love Korn too. That's actually one of the bands I thought I could do, because like Korn in America seen as like a rock band rather than a metal band. So that's something I thought about. Again, I'll have to check whether I can do it because of copyright, etc.
Do you remember Static Lullaby?
I don't know that.
No,
you don't know that.
This has become a music podcast.
I know. Who sung One Arm Scissors? They're a good band.
So everyone better get their start picking a song and start practicing flying their freestyle to it. Ready for the MiniAirshow next year.
At the drive-in. Do you remember that?
Static Lullaby are an American post-hardcore band. What the hell is post-hardcore? Is that like after the hardcore, the quiet bit?
I have no idea what the genre is. There's all sorts in there.
I'm too old for this.
I'm weird though. I listen to Taylor Swift, but I'll listen to Slipknot if it's a good song.
Stone Sour, Disturbed.
Yeah, I like
Sour. I can't even remember what they used to
Stone Sour is the lead singer from Slipknot's.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Second band, yeah.
Okay, Google, play Stone Sour.
Oh no!
No,
Stone Sour on Spotify.
We'll get kicked off.
No, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Okay, Google, stop. Thanks.
Yeah, fair use policy.
You're allowed to play like 3. You're allowed to play 3 seconds for the content of a review.
3 seconds. I thought it was 7.
It could be 7. I don't know. I don't want to risk it.
Oh man, 36 Crazy Fish.
I want to do a Linkin Park song actually.
Yeah.
Just because of what happened to the lead singer Chester, and I was a big fan of Linkin Park, so I might do a Linkin Park song next, maybe.
Yeah. Well, another idea, Andy. Next time you review a quad and it's absolutely crap, break down into Limp Bizkit break stuff.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Hey, MF Boone, Chester from Lincoln Park suffered with mental health issues. Why don't you message some of his family and call them dicks?
What?
And fucking arsehole.
This is
I'm completely lost.
Where did that come from?
Don't worry, it's an ongoing battle. Don't worry, it's fine.
I feel like this episode has maybe reached the limit of what
I think we may have peaked.
We're on a downward spiral now.
Yeah.
This is kind of what the podcast becomes when it stops being live, what we've got now. I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
Isles of Mull FPB said, I colligated lots of 30-second clips and got hit.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can do.
Yeah.
What I think's crazy is I don't know how it works, but you could film a busker in town doing a song, and and so it's not the original artist. It's not the original song. It's a guy with an acoustic with crappy audio, and you'll get kicked off YouTube for that. How does it know? I don't know.
It's weird.
Well, it's the algorithm, isn't it?
I think it's stupid as well. I think it's really stupid. That's one of the reasons why I stopped doing music and sort of concentrated on doing quadcopters and stuff, because you can't copyright a quadcopter, but music, you could put your heart and soul into it. You could spend 2 months and then you get kicked off YouTube for doing it, for doing a cover song. It's completely backwards, I think. Copyright law for music. Yes, that's how it started. Get the lawyer on. We need some advice. I need some advice. Or if maybe just that's for
you
private
convinced
session.
me. We might actually have a semi-sensible reason to have the lawyer on.
For drone,
Better Call Saul.
for drone music, yes.
Yeah. There we go. That's something to look forward to. What else we got coming up, Jack? Remind me.
What's his name? Military guy.
We spoke to Carl Easy at the show yesterday, so we're gonna get him on along at some point to talk about the Army drone racing that he's been working on, because he's also on the BFPVRA committee. So I'm sure once they've got that kind of settled in and they know what they're going to do there, we'll get them back on for that as well. So we've got that to look forward to. I'm sure we'll get a load of other people on as well, but I can't think of any at the moment that we can actually talk about. So yes, I think this is probably a good time to call it. If Digby is on the button, then I will say that thank you for watching Let's Drone Out.
He doesn't. Oh my god! Sorry, sometimes the chat. Sometimes.
What's the matter? What's going on?
Don't
nothing,
start. No. We're finishing the bloody show.
My favourite thing of yesterday was
shut up.
An old guy walked past with the name tag Easy, and I was like, "Yo, man, is your name Easy?" And he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "What? Like Easy?" And he was like, I was like, "Man, you're so gangster." and I look across and I just see Andrew go. Oh.
On that note,
yeah.
So funny.
Thanks for watching Let's Drone Out. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. So I know loads of people came in on last week's video, so hopefully we haven't scared you all away. Yep, thanks for watching and see you again soon.
So good night, Jack.
Good night, guys. Thank you.